But how much ethanol can we produce from corn? Modern dry mill ethanol plants can convert corn grain into ethanol at a rate of 2.7 gallons per bushel. So, if Cindy Lou's 300-acre farm reaps 54,000 bushels of corn per harvest, then Sally's ethanol production plant can make approximately 150,000 gallons of ethanol from Cindy Lou's corn. Cindy's yield for 2010 was 180 bushels per acre. With a limited supply of cropland available for biofuel feedstocks, increasing the yield in bushels per acre on an annual basis could significantly boost available supplies of corn without requiring additional land. Already there have been large annual increases in yields of corn over the past 30 years, from 86 bushels per acre in 1975 to 151 bushels per acre in 2006. So it is more than likely that crop yields will continue to increase. Furthermore, with more than 81 million acres devoted to corn in the U.S., even small increases in annual yield could boost supplies for biofuels significantly, according to the U.S. Department of Energy.
Biodiesel is the most common biofuel used in Europe. One way to make biodiesel is mixing ethanol with gasoline or diesel. Adding the oxygenate ethanol to gasoline gives the fuel a higher octane rating, which means that the engine can burn hotter and more efficiently, which is what makes biodiesel mixtures cleaner fuel than pure gasoline or pure diesel. Biodiesel can be used in any diesel engine when mixed with mineral diesel fuel. Most car engines can run on biodiesel that is up to 15% bioethanol without engine modification, according to the U.S. Agricultural Marketing Resource Center. Some of the most common biodiesel blends currently in use are B2, which contains 2% ethanol and 98% petroleum diesel, and B20, which contains 20% ethanol and 80% petroleum diesel. The environmental benefits of biodiesel increase with the percentage of ethanol in the biodiesel, and it has been shown that lubricity benefits and emission reduction for combustion engines are significant even at levels as low as the 2% blend.
It is true that the laws of physics dictate that energy will be lost in converting one form of energy to another, i.e., the ethanol does have less energy than the corn from which it is made. However, the same is true of every fuel out on the market, including, for example, converting crude oil to gasoline and coal to electricity, according to Purdue University's publication on bioenergy. It is also true, however, that ethanol contains less energy per gallon than does conventional gasoline. A gallon of ethanol has only 2/3 the energy of a gallon of conventional gasoline, and the number of miles traveled by a given vehicle per gallon of fuel is directly proportional to the energy contained in the fuel. But, according to the U.S. Department of Energy, this reduction in miles per gallon occurs mostly in unmodified engines, so differently designed engines could easily increase biofuel efficiency in this sense. In terms of transporting biofuels to market, approximately 75% of ethanol is moved by rail and 25% by truck, according to the U.S. Agricultural Marketing Resource Center. Cindy Lou's corn will be transported by truck since Sally's plant is only 30 miles away. In fact, according to the study done by the U.S. Department of Energy and General Motors, for every 1 gallon of petroleum used, almost entirely during transport, 10 gallons of ethanol are made. Also, creation of a new ethanol pipeline is under consideration. In general, though, continued profitability and growth in the industry will depend on increasing efficiencies of production and government incentives for producing biofuels as part of the Renewable Energy Initiative.
Now let's turn to the economic feasibility of using biofuels in automotive transportation. Here is a chart of the 2005 U.S. motor fuel consumption. We used 4 billion gallons of ethanol, which is just under 3% of the amount of gasoline used. And we used 91 million gallons of biodiesel, which is only 0.2% of the amount of petroleum diesel consumed. Imagine the impact of increasing the percentage of biofuels consumed in the U.S., especially since ethanol can be produced from any feedstock abundant in natural sugars or starches that can be converted to sugar. We have many more domestic fuel source options. That is, increasing production and consumption of biofuels has enormous potential to reduce our reliance on fossil fuels, as well as help the U.S. move towards a future in which we do not rely on other countries for energy resources.
Okay, I get it. You want to make cleaner car fuel. But is it going to be worth my while?
Well, let's take a look.
The chart shown is taken from a report published by the U.S. Agriculture Marketing Resource Center. It shows the average costs of corn production to a landowning farmer. Major costs include the costs for real estate taxes, in red, machinery, drying, and fuel for the farm, in dark blue, labor, in peach, seed, in lavender, fertilizer, in magenta, herbicides, in cream, and other costs, in medium blue. Corn production costs roughly $2.50 per bushel for the farmer. The Bioenergy Incorporated plant will offer a competitive price in comparison to the food market to ensure that Cindy Lou is getting the best deal possible. In addition, the government provides increased real estate tax exemptions to farmers who sell their goods for energy production, as well as an ethanol tax credit to the farmer of 45 cents per gallon of ethanol produced from the farmer's crop. It is clear from the government incentives and from the deal to be struck with Bioenergy Incorporated's ethanol production plant that Cindy Lou will make a profit.
Well, I'll be a monkey's uncle. After watching those zippy informational videos, I'd love to sell you my corn.
Fantastic. We look forward to doing business with you.
Cha-ching!
Now that that's settled, let's go celebrate with a good old-fashioned night on the town. Yee-haw!
Don't stop, make it pop, DJ blow my speakers up tonight. I'ma fight till we see the sunlight. Tick tock on the clock, but the party don't stop. No, don't stop, make it pop, DJ blow my speakers up tonight. I'ma fight till we see the sunlight.
Well, I'll be a monkey's uncle. You're gonna have to edit this one. Okay, because